Hello, my name is Maria Sundström, and I'm the CEO of Lead. We offer a product called Salestrail, and I will now explain briefly what Salestrail is all about and why so many people choose to use it to track and record their salespeople's call data. So Salestrail is a solution that focuses on tracking and recording regular mobile calls. So we are very different from most solution providers in the market because we don't offer any cloud call technology. We're not a VoIP provider. We're not a CTI solution. What we offer just is a simple app that salespeople download on their mobile device that then helps track and record calls. What is good for you to know already from the start is that there are some major differences on iPhone versus Android. So on Android devices, you can just download the app and you can set it up so that it runs in the background of your phone. And then the app automatically tracks. And then if you have chosen to also record calls, then it also records the calls on your device into our cloud. And then those recordings can be found in the analytics dashboard. So what it means is that you don't have to make your phone calls from within the app for them to be tracked and recorded. You can use your native dialer as you are used to do, and everything will still be picked up by the Salestrail app. On Android, we can also track and record WhatsApp calls as well as WhatsApp business calls. However, on iOS, due to Apple's security settings, it is not possible for us to record calls at all. We do not track or record WhatsApp or WhatsApp business calls. And on iOS, we can only pick up calls that are initiated from the Salestrail application, meaning that you cannot call from your native dialer, but you have to open up the Salestrail app and make the call from there, and then the call will be tracked. However, on iOS, so on Apple devices, calls will never be recorded. So this is something that is good to know. We do have clients both on iPhones and on Androids, but there are some major differences. And for the app to run totally in the background and function automatically, both on incoming and outgoing calls, you need to be using an Android device. But all right, what I would like all you to do after seeing this short recording is to click on the free trial button and then sign up for a trial of our solution. So that is what I'm going to do now. All right, you can here see that to get started, I need to give my work email address. And that is now something that I will do. Here. It's taking a little while. Okay, there I have it on my email. Where do I work? Lead, test, and environment. All right. How many people from my team will be using it? 10. My name, Maria. Like that. And then I'm an iOS user. I'm going to continue. And then here I would give my phone number. So I am going to fill it out here. All right. Good. Now I can integrate Salestrail with my CRM. So we have ready-made integrations for Salesforce, HubSpot, and Lead Squared. And then I can use Push API if I'm using an in-house CRM or I have Zoho or Microsoft Dynamics or something that we don't support here. So I am now going to choose skip this step. I can put on the integration later on if I want to. All right. Good. Now I'm here. Welcome to Salestrail. You have 5 days left of your free trial with data, and I will here be able to see like how many calls someone has done, how many was outbound, how many was inbound, how many different numbers they called, etc., etc. But now what I need to do to be able to track my calls is I need to get the Salestrail call tracking app for my phone. Okay, so as a single user, the first thing I need to do here is download my app in order to be able to track my own calls. And then if I want to, I can here add one of my colleagues by clicking here on user management. So that is now something that I will do. I will click here on user management, and then I can invite a colleague of mine by adding their email address. So I am now going to add this person here. All right, there I have filled out the email address, and then I click add user. And now my colleague, Marcos, has also been invited to this environment, and he's also able to then sign up. But all right, I will now connect my Android device so that you are able to see how the app functions on a device. So see my Android device, and the first thing that I want to do is I want to download the Salestrail application. So I'm going to go to Play Store, and then I will search here for Salestrail, install, and then I open up the app. And now it is important that I log in using the same email address as I have added on my analytics dashboard, because that is how we recognize who you are. So I will here fill out now my email address. Sorry. That's my email address. And then I will again receive a 6-digit code that I need to input. And then I need to give the apps a few permissions. Some of the permissions are asked already here. So yes, I'm going to allow Salestrail to access contacts, to make phone calls, and access media. So without these permissions, the app is not able to function. All right, now I am here in the app where you can see tracked, untracked, and settings. So I want to go into my settings here, and now I want to tell the app how I want it to function. So I can set up the app to only track calls during certain hours of the day and specific days. But this is for me a work phone, so I want to track all the calls that I receive and make on this device. So I will not set up office hours. If I have multiple SIMs, I can choose to only track one or all of my SIMs. I just have one SIM on this device, so I'm not going to click there. But then tracking WhatsApp calls, that is something that I want to do. And here I need to enable the access. So to be able to track calls, Salestrail needs access to specific notifications. So this is something that I will put on here. And now we need to wait for a few moments. All right, good. Here I have my Salestrail app. So now the app has been set up to track my phone calls as well as to track my WhatsApp calls. There is one more setting that is super important for the app to run properly, and that is something that you can set up by going into the app info. So I can, for example, long click here on my Salestrail app, and then I would click on app info, or I can go to my Android settings and I can search for the Salestrail app, and then it will take me to this same place. So here, the permissions that Salestrail needs to be able to function properly is battery settings, but here I need to take away the battery saver. So whenever you install an app on your Android device, your phone is going to assume that you want the app to be optimized by battery saver. So this is always on when you install a new app. For Salestrail to function properly, you need to change it to no restrictions. And the reason here is that the app is just sitting on your phone, and it needs to be able to activate itself every time you make a phone call or you receive a phone call. So we definitely need to have no restrictions on the battery saver. And then this needs to be off. So this is actually set correctly. So pause app activity if unused. This cannot be on. This needs to be like this. But these settings are very important for the Salestrail app to be function properly. So now I have set up the app to be able to track both regular calls and WhatsApp calls. So now if I receive a phone call on this device or I make a phone call from my native dialer, then this phone call will be automatically tracked. But let me just make a phone call from here. So I'm going to call now, for example, this Maria Ryder. So I'm opening up my native dialer and I'm making a phone call from here. All right, we can see now that Maria Ryder has answered the call. And then let's end the call and let's go into the Salestrail app to see that the call has been tracked. All right, here we can see. So we made a phone call to Maria Ryder. It lasted for 5 seconds, took place at 3:59 p.m. That's the time in Finland right now. All right, then it says here, tap on a phone number to call or mark it as not tracked. Okay, so I can click on this call and I can choose to call again, or then this untrack button. That is if I'm having the same phone for private use and work use, then I can choose to untrack specific numbers. So for example, my family members or my husband or a friend of mine whom I'm calling often during working hours, I can choose that I want to ignore calls to this person. But this untrack button, it's also something that your company can choose, not to allow to untrack calls at all. But okay, you can see here that the call has been tracked, but this has actually not been recorded. So this call is visible in the analytics dashboard, but it has not yet been recorded. And the reason is that I have not set on the recording settings. So I am now going to go in here to my settings tab and click on recording settings. All right, I want to enable call recording. And now I here have a few options. So I can use the built-in call recorder, or I can use the Salestrail call recorder. So if your device comes with a built-in call recorder, which is the case for some countries in Africa, it's the case in India, in some Southern American countries as well, then we recommend that you would use the built-in call recorder. And to be able to use the built-in call recorder, if you need help on how to activate it on your device, then you can read this little note here on how to put it on. But I can also briefly explain it. So to use the built-in call recorder, you would actually move away from the Salestrail recorder and you would go to the native dialer and you would click on these 3 dots that you see here on the top of your native dialer. So it opens this more options and then you click on settings. And here you would have, here in the list, you would have something that says call recording, and that's what you would put on. And if you put that on, then call recording will be taken care of by your mobile phone and Salestrail will just pick them up. But I am based in Finland and I don't have a call recorder on my device. So I would, on the contrary, choose to use the Salestrail call recorder. And then you see that I have a different note box here. So to use the Salestrail call recorder app for recordings, you need to install it on your device. For help, open up our website. All right, I'm going to use also the Salestrail call recorder to record WhatsApp calls. So I choose these 2 options. And now I also need to install the APK. So I will click here on this link and I will APK and I will download it. All right, let me open up my file and then I will install. And here you might get some warnings about app being harmful, etc. This is due to the fact that this is not an app that we are sharing on Google Play, but this is an APK. So I need to click here and I need to choose install anyway. So I will choose to install this even though I get some warning about this being harmful. It's not really a harmful app. It's just that it's not shared on the Google Play Store. All right. Then I would choose to open up here the app. Okay, and again, this is a separate app, so I also need to give this specific permissions. So I'm going to allow the Salestrail recorder to record audio while using the app. Yes. I will allow it to access my call logs and contacts and manage phone calls and device and media. All right, good. Now, this is a bit weird here, but I actually need to, now that I have downloaded the APK, I need to open up the Salestrail app again and then move back here to the recording APK. You see that this changed a bit. And this is due to the fact that we have some users who are still using an older version of the APK, and I'm now on the newer one. Okay, accessibility service disabled. So I need to get this enabled to be able to record calls. So I will click on it. All right. And then you have downloaded apps here. And I need to put the Salestrail recorder on. All right. And again, accessibility is a sensitive permission. So my Android wants me to really think about whether I give permission or not. Cool. I have used that. And now I'm going to go back here to my Salestrail APK. And then now this is enabled. That is fine. Here I can change the source for the audio. But for most people, the voice recognition works best. So I'm going to keep that. But in order to be able to record WhatsApp calls, I need to allow notification access as well. So here I'm going to put this one on. And again, I need to wait a bit. All right. Now everything has been set up properly in my Salestrail app and the Salestrail recorder. And here what is good for you to know is that you need to have both apps here on your phone, but you are only actively using the Salestrail app. The Salestrail recorder just sits on your phone and it allows you to record calls. But there is one more thing that we need to do with the Salestrail recorder. We need to give it permission to run in the background of the phone. So we need to take away the battery optimization just the same way we did for the Salestrail app. So I'm going to click here on where it says battery saver, and I will click over to no restrictions. All right. Now I should have all the settings that I need on my device. So now let's do another phone call to be able to see that this phone call is actually recorded. So I'm going to open up my native dialer. And then I'm going to type in a number. All right. And now you can see that a stop recording button has been activated. So this phone call is actually being recorded. All right, cool. And just we could now go into the Salestrail app to look at the call, but let's actually also try out an incoming phone call. So I will soon receive a phone call from Maria Ryder, and let's just see that that one also is being tracked correctly. All right, here you can see an incoming call. Let's answer. And leave it open for a while. All right, call has ended. And now if I open up the Salestrail app and go to tracked calls, then here we can see that the first call that I did, it was just tracked because I didn't have the recording settings on, but these two calls has now been recorded. And then I can choose here to listen to a call if that is something that I'm interested in. But of course, these calls are already in Salestrail Analytics dashboard, so I could also go there to check them out. All right, let's do that. So I'm going to share now my screen. All right, here we have the Salestrail Analytics dashboard. And now that I go over here to overview, we can see that we have 3 calls in total. 2 of them are outbound, 1 is inbound. And then if I scroll down, I can see that, okay, 1 unique call. This means that I have just called 1 phone number. Here I can see during which hours the call has been made. And then here you would get a list of all of your users where you can then see stats for each and every one. I here have the possibility to choose to search for different users. Now I am the only one signed up here, but like if you would have lots of users, then you would see all the names here if you have permission to see their data. All right, if I want to, I can choose to create new graphs and reports and widgets. So now I'm going to create a new view here. I'm going to call this sales performance. All right, save. And then I can choose to add widgets here by clicking on one of these charts, and then I would choose what data I include in my view. If I'm interested in listening to the call recordings, I can go here. And then I can click open one of these and I can listen to the recordings. As I don't have my CRM integration on, then the calls are only visible here in the analytics dashboard. But if I put on my CRM integration, then that is something that I can do here under integrations and apps. And then I choose between Salesforce, HubSpot, Lead Squared, or I can use Push API for my in-house CRM. And then in addition to seeing all the data here in this, so here you can see how the data looks in Salesforce. So we have a contact called Maria Ryder. And then these are the phone numbers that we have for Maria Ryder. And if I click here on activity, then this is what our Salestrail application is doing. Whenever someone is calling Maria Ryder or Maria Ryder is calling us, then it tracks the call here. So I can click this open, I can take a look, and it says like inbound call answered, who called whom, how long did the call last, when did the call take place. And then here in the comments field, if someone adds comments, then I can see them, or then if there is a call recording, then the link to the call recording will also be visible here. But you can, of course, also use Salestrail without integrating to your CRM. And then back over here to the analytics dashboard. I'm hoping that you find this tool very, very useful and are considering making a purchase. And that is something that you can do here in the Salestrail Call Analytics dashboard. Here you would mark how many users you need to have. And you can see that this dashboard is suggesting 2 users for me. And that is due to the fact that I have signed up. And then I have signed up on this dashboard. And then I have invited 1 more person. So I cannot buy less than 2 users. If I want to buy just 1 user, I need to go and delete one of my users. But you could here write, for example, 100. Then you have the choice of choosing between annual subscription or monthly subscription. Monthly subscription would cost me $8 as a user in Finland. But then with annual subscription, I get minus 30% off the price. And then I choose whether I want to include call recording and CRM integration as well. And then for 100 users on an annual subscription with call recording and CRM integration, I would pay $15,130 a year. And then I click next to fill out my credit card. If you find this interesting but have additional questions and want to book a meeting with us, then feel free to do so by reaching out on our webpage or here on this chat that you can see here in the corner of the Salestrail dashboard. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope to see you subscribe for a free trial.